All right. Hello. This is Allie Bloyd here. I am going live from a different account in this group, just to give you a heads up on that. But today I'm really excited because we are going to be covering copy and creative for this local barbershop that I've been telling you guys about. So this is actually for my brother's barbershop, like I mentioned, and he has not previously been running Facebook ads. It's something that they've wanted to get into for a while now, but they just haven't really had a huge need. Their business has grown well through the clientele they've built over the years, and essentially they just need some help getting started. So I thought, what a perfect way to go through this challenge than to use his business as my example. So I'm very excited to go over these things today. There are a lot of people that are very confused when it comes to writing the copy for ads and doing the creative for ads. So essentially, I'm going to show you all three levels of our three-level ad system, and we're going to talk about the different types of copy and creative you can use and what we're going to be using for this actual campaign. So in your checklist on page 6, you should see the three-level ad strategy cheat sheet. Okay, so this is the system that I use, whether it's for my agency clients or the students I teach. This is really where you're going to see the best results. And typically people are leaving out one of these levels, usually two, but always typically one of those levels. So what I want to do is really make sure you understand the purpose of each and how you can utilize these in your own marketing. And then we're going to talk about what we're actually doing for this specific client. So level 1, this is education and awareness level, okay? The purpose of this level is to segment your audience based on your content. That's a huge part of it, especially if you are a business that has multiple products and services. Your audience is not all interested in the same thing, and you don't want to speak to them as if they are all the same, because they're not. So the goal here is to create content that very seamlessly ties in to what you do, and then to retarget those people or send those people core offers that you know they're going to be interested in. So essentially, this level 1 is also a great way to simply educate your audience and really allow them to get to know you, to build trust, to build credibility, and everything that a local business should be looking to build. Okay, so here are a few things that you can do with that. Videos that educate, entertain, or demonstrate. Education is a favorite of mine because I feel like no matter what industry you're in, there is a lot of education and most people don't realize that. Then you're going to have educational resources that help them decide. So that could be a great blog post. You could have images that inspire your audience to buy or showcase transformation. And this could be a simple post. It doesn't necessarily have to be a real ad, quote unquote, or say too much at the end of the day, but it could be something that's just really designed to get a lot of engagement. So you can do a lot in building social proof at this level. And for those of you who are not familiar with social proof, that is essentially the concept where when other people see that other people like something, they're more inclined to like it themselves, or they feel validated in thinking that something is cool or worth buying because other people have done so. So for instance, if you see a social media post from a local business that has 10,000 likes on it, you're going to say, wow, that business is clearly doing something right. There's, a lot that I need to learn about this company. And just the simple act of seeing that, shares, comments, and likes, or video views, that can do a lot to build your social proof. You also can use this to generate subscriber opportunities with things like a chatbot. So we're not going to have time to go really in depth into that today, or really much in this challenge, but this is absolutely a great way to get in front of your ideal audience consistently, be able to market to them essentially in a way that continues to educate them and help them. So the level 1 is not designed to try and get leads, okay? This is a really big misconception that people have. So one of my newer Done With You students, we had our strategy session yesterday, and he had come up with a lot of really great content. He is a wedding photographer in London, and he's done a great job of creating videos, and he obviously has a lot of amazing images, but he felt like, okay, well, I'm putting this out there, and now what's happening? Well, essentially, if you don't understand how level 1 works within this system, you're not going to see the results that you're looking for, because this level is only the beginning. It's not designed to drive a mass amount of leads. It's designed to build your warm audience and build an audience of people who have already indicated that they're interested in what you have to offer or what you do simply by engaging with your content. Obviously, you want to make sure that's going to the right audience to begin with. We covered targeting yesterday. You're not going to get the results that you want to see, even on engagement, if you're not sending it to the right people. So obviously, first things first, get those ideal audiences set up. And now the second step, let's build rapport with them. Let's build credibility, trust, that know, like, and trust factor that everyone talks about. You have an amazing opportunity to do that through your content. This is where people who only do things like Google ads or search ads, they're missing the mark completely, because you cannot build a relationship with your audience with search marketing. It's got its own purpose. It's absolutely there for a reason, but this is where you can really establish yourself in your community. You can get referrals from people online that may or may not have ever worked with you simply because they like what you're putting out there. Then we've got level 2, and that is where you're actually going to put your offers out there. Things that you can do for this is creative packages that are going to set you apart from competition that maybe offers the same thing. You could utilize content that overcomes typical objections. You can showcase your work or your process, and you can leverage a sense of urgency, whether that's for the offer itself or for, maybe there is kind of a timeline that they're already running into, such as the wedding photographer I just mentioned. His timeline is that people are getting married. So even if his offer doesn't necessarily expire, the time that they could book him or need him absolutely will expire. And so you don't have to do that quote unquote like false sense of urgency marketing thing that you hear people talk about in order to leverage a sense of urgency and try and get people to take action. A lot of times that's what people need. They need to feel like they're going to miss out on something, or that they're going to lose something that they would have got if they had gone ahead and, taken the next step right now. And then finally, retargeting. So this is where you want to scoop up the leads that did not finish at this level or who previously engaged. You can also ascend past customers to a new product or service or offer. So cross-sells and upsells are really great for this level as well. And one thing that people never really do that is an awesome thing to do and set yourself apart is to continue to market to people that either already work with you or have signed up as a lead. Like, give them that affirmation that they need, that they made the right choice. Sending them testimonials of past clients or customers, that's a great one. Or even just doing a quick video and telling them thank you for their business. Like, you really appreciate it. You can't wait to work with them or meet with them again, or whatever their situation is. But the lead being generated should not be the end of the road in your marketing. There's so much more that happens after that that you need to be focusing on. And this is one that most people are completely just sweeping to the side, or it never crosses their mind. So essentially, you want to have all 3 of these levels in order to create a really solid local ad system. Sometimes, you might hear these called pre-sale articles, but it doesn't have to be an article. Again, it could be just a video, and it could be a simple post. There's a lot of different things you can do, but essentially you're warming your audience up that may not have been the type of person who just was ready to take action on your offer right away. So predominantly, most of this should be going to your warm traffic. That's where you're going to see your lowest cost per lead and your most consistent leads. So if you are at this level, this is going to be mainly cold traffic. Granted, you can kind of interchange these a little bit, because there are times where you absolutely want to test your offer to cold traffic, and you may want your warm audience to get some of this awesome content, but you just have to make sure that you have a really clear plan on what goes where and to whom and why and how it fits into the entire system that you're putting together. So we are going to go through these 3 different ad levels for Classic Cuts Barbershop. So this is level 1. As I mentioned to you guys, my brother actually left for Italy earlier this week. And so before he left, I told him, hey, look, we're doing this for you. We really want some video, because if you talk to me for longer than 30 minutes, you will hear me mention video quite often, and that's because it is so powerful. Video is truly a way for your audience to get more of your message in a shorter period of time. It's also a way for them to put a face to the name of your business, so it establishes like a deeper relationship if they can actually see you and hear you. You're also really going to be able to showcase your expertise and position yourself as an expert in whatever it is that you do. And I don't care what you do. Everyone wants to be seen as an expert in their field, because that's why someone would hire you. Otherwise, they could hire anyone, or they could probably find what you do for a better price from someone who's less experienced or less skilled. So establishing that credibility, that trust, that really familiar relationship, that is such an amazing way to build this relationship with your community. We're talking mainly about local businesses here. Even if you're not a local business and you're trying to generate leads, you still want your audience to feel connected to you. But especially if you are in a local community, you want to make sure that people out there simply know who you are, because not everyone is in the market for what you do right now. If you are only marketing to people who need you at this very moment, you're missing out on the opportunity to get your name and your business in front of those who could either be great potential clients moving forward, or who could refer you to their friends and family along the way. So really focus on that relationship building in your community, and I promise you this process will feel and look much differently for you. Okay, so our strategy for this is to keep it fairly simple. So most people, they get really overwhelmed when it comes to creating video content, and it really doesn't have to be difficult, okay? Keep your videos under a minute if possible, so that you can run them on Facebook and Instagram. And also, just based on short attention spans, it is going to be a lot easier for people to consume the entire video. I've also tested a lot longer videos, so like 5 to 7 minutes, and those can also work really well, but you just have to understand the system that you're utilizing if you're doing something like that. So I would say keep it short. I like to shoot them horizontal. He did not need any special equipment. He was really able to just do this off the top of his head. I coached him a little bit on things that needed to be included, but other than that, he knows what he's talking about, so it's not extremely difficult for someone who has an expertise to really understand what they need to say to their audience if they have some guidance. So yesterday we talked about offers, and essentially the offer that we're gonna focus on is that free hot towel shave with your next haircut. So this is going to be a great way to give somebody something extra, some added value, hopefully get new customers in the door. Like I mentioned yesterday, they have a really great relationship with their clients, and they have a great lifetime customer value. So they know if they get people in the door, they're going to continue to come back for a very long time. They're great at what they do, and they're also very personable. So they know that they don't have to make a ton of money off of their first appointment. It's really that long-term value that they're looking for. So this is the first video that we have, and this is for our level 1. And this is simply 3 tips to a better shave. So we'll play this video for you really quick.
Hi, this is Elias from Classic Cuts Barbershop. Today I'm going to be giving you a few tips on how to do a better shave. First, get a good shaving product. I prefer a shave gel to a cream. Second, get a good razor. I suggest something with 2 blades or less. Third, you're going to need a hand towel. So first of all, apply the shave gel or shaving cream of your choice. Then, get your towel hot with some water. and apply it to your face for at least 30 seconds to soften the hair. Then get your razor and shave with the grain. Do not shave against the grain. This will help prevent ingrown hairs. But the best tip I could give you would be to just simply book an appointment with us by clicking the button below, where we offer hot towel shades at a great price. Thank you.
All right, so what's interesting about this that I have to mention is that he told me he feels terribly uncomfortable on camera. I thought he did a great job, and I think that that just goes to show that it doesn't actually matter how you feel about being on video. It's really about just getting out there, doing it, talking to your audience, providing them value, and like I said, establishing all of those positive benefits that you're gonna find when someone is able to consume your video content. So this is our level 1. He does make a call to action at the end, but that's not the purpose of this ad. We simply want people to watch the video, understand that they have a barbershop and that they can do these professional hot shaves. And obviously it's a barbershop, so they already know that they can cut hair. So this is gonna be the level 1 ad that we're gonna use. So we'll hop on over to our ad creative cheat sheet. That should be page number 7. And you can see that I have different types of video, different types of images, and other considerations that you're going to want to focus on when putting your creative together. So these are some of the most common videos that I've found to work well over time. And this would be an example of a short talking video, okay? Then you're gonna look at, if I were to use an image, what type of image would I use? Would I just use a single image? Is it gonna be a carousel? Do I wanna have a text overlay on the carousel? Is it gonna be a slideshow? Am I gonna do a canvas or collection? Or am I gonna do, a before and after, or a testimonial, or some type of, behind the scenes type of content? So you really want to make sure that these things are considered before you ever create your content. Most people are just doing things very spur of the moment, and they never really plan this out ahead of time, which it's no wonder why there isn't really a system in place, because good marketing should not be off the cuff. There are definitely great ideas that you can come up with that don't have to be planned out for months in advance, but you need to get yourself in the habit of actually having a plan before you do anything. Planning these campaigns was really, day 1 and day 2. We're just now on day 3 actually getting into the copy and creative, which is where most people are going to begin. So then we've got a few other considerations. So will this be a dynamic product ad? This is really for retailers. Does the text on your image only cover 20% or less? So in the past, you used to have to only have 20% or less text, or your ad would get disapproved. That doesn't happen anymore, but it still will reduce your reach if you have too much text. I found that doing this with the text on top and bottom, with the background color, usually you're never gonna have a problem. And what it also does is it helps people understand what your video is about before they ever hear the video or read the copy. And that's what we want. We want someone to say, oh, I shave, I want tips on a better shave. So they're gonna stop and watch this video. So if you're using a video, do you have captions? If not, add them before running. This is crucial. Most people are listening or they're scrolling on their phones with their audio off. So they may turn it on if they like what you're saying, but they're not going to know what you're saying unless you use those captions. Also, it's just really important for the hearing impaired. You want to make sure that you give them a way to consume your content too. I think this is something that a ton of people today aren't thinking about, and that's, hearing impaired and visually impaired people, like, they're still on the internet, and you want to make things as easy as humanly possible for them. They could absolutely be your clients, and you want to make sure that they know about what you have to offer. So you also want to make sure you have a strong hook that corresponds to your image or video, and creative that represents your brand in terms of imagery, fonts, and colors. So these are their brand colors, and obviously this imagery is of barbershop spinning thingies, or whatever you want to call them. So I definitely think that it does that. So obviously those are just a couple of things to think about. There's a lot more that goes into the actual content side of it, but this is really the overall plan and the visuals that you need to consider. Then we have got our level 2 ad, which we'll cover in a minute. So we'll hop back on it over to that ad creative. But quickly, we're going to talk about our copy. And there's so much you can do in terms of copy. I mean, we have so many different formulas for writing ad copy or landing page copy or email copy. But at the end of the day, it really comes down to a couple of different things. So your copy length, is it going to be short, sweet, and to the point? Or is it going to be that really long copy style? You have to make sure it's compelling, but typically this is going to be very long or it appears pretty long. Then you're going to say, okay, what am I really going to focus on? Am I going to talk about their pain points? Am I just going to be directly promotional? Am I going to tell a story? Am I going to focus on some huge benefits? Am I going to play to their emotions, or am I going to talk about status? So status, a lot of people think that it's just like money related. Status is actually related to a variety of things. Essentially, you know, your social status, how you feel about yourself, how you feel that the world perceives you, your education level, your lifestyle, your income can play a part. There's so many different things that go into status, and that can be a great one to talk about. You also want to focus on your hook or your headline. So is it going to be a direct statement or more directly promotional? Is it going to be curiosity based or a question? These are usually 3 really great directions to take. And then finally, these other additional considerations. You need to make sure you have a link destination. Obviously, this is going to depend on the type of ad that you choose. You're going to select a call to action button on some types of ads, not all of them. You are going to select a display link on certain types of ads, and you may want to have a sub-headline text. So making sure that you really just kind of identify which direction am I going here. So we're going to take a look at the copy that I've whipped up for level 1. So this is actually more just a direct statement. We are talking about their pain points. We're saying, you know, there's nothing worse than a terrible shave. If a guy sees that, he's going to say, okay, like, I get that. I feel you. You know what I'm talking about. The shave that leaves you with battle wounds for days and the urge to wear a ski mask. So I think that most guys have experienced that. And while he's acknowledging that it happens, he's saying that there is a different way. So he's just quickly telling you there's 3 quicks to a better shave. And then obviously he's going to tell them, hey, if you actually want a professional shave, I can help you. So this is an example of shorter copy. It is definitely addressing a pain point and trying to identify the audience right away, but it's also more direct because the video is kind of going to do the talking for us, and essentially we just want them to watch the video. So anytime you have ads, really at any level, I always recommend having a call to action. This ad may not be designed to get clients, you know, or new appointments specifically, but there are going to be people that want to take that next step from seeing this ad. You don't want to make it more difficult for them. You just want to give them the option right there. So anyway, this is going to be our headline, and this is a direct statement in terms of the headline we talked about. 3 tips to a better shave every time. Okay, we want to make sure they simply know what this video is about, and we want them to watch it because watching that video is going to help us build our audience. Then you're going to say, click for free, hot towel shave. We are subtly promoting our offer. It's not going to show up for every single person on every single placement, and that's okay. It's not the purpose, but we want to make sure they do know that. So that's our level 1 ad. That's our audience building ad. All right, the second ad that we are going to focus on is our level 2 ad. Okay, so this is where we're actually putting the offer out there. All right, this is going to be just an image ad to test, and we can absolutely test it with you know, video or different types of imagery, but this is the first image that I'm going to test. And this is just a shot of my brother, the owner of the shop, or one of the owners, and he's just, you know, he looks happy, he looks approachable. We have their logo for branding, and then we also make it really clear what this person is going to get with the offer. You know, don't necessarily make people dig to figure out what you're offering if that offer is really what you want to promote. If you're just doing something like a free consultation and maybe if they buy, they get something for free, you may not want to like broadcast that. You may want to kind of bury it in your copy to help pre-qualify people, but for them, they want to get people in with this offer. They want to go ahead and build that client base because they know they'll get them to come back. So this is really focused on the holidays. We are in mid-October. Obviously, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, all of those things are coming up, and it's a busy time for people in their industry. So we want to make sure they know these are the guys you can come to stay ready for any type of party, get together, or outing this holiday season. So we're just kind of like making a joke in the beginning. Were you the guy in the holiday picture last year with shaving mixed from ear to ear or a hairline that was far from cheerful? So we're just throwing in the relation to the holidays and also saying, like, if you were not looking your best, you know, don't be that guy. So stay ready for anything this holiday season. So then we're going into the offer for a limited time for just a select few. So this is exclusivity and urgency. We're offering a free professional hot towel shave with your next cut. Why? Because we know you'll love us, and we would hate to see you ruin your holiday season due to a ho-ho horrible haircut and shave. So again, just making a joke, trying to show that they're lighthearted and friendly and tie it into the holidays. So we want to tell them to click the Get Offer button, because that's the call to action button we're going to be using, or visit the website. So depending on where they see this ad, we want to make sure we don't say click the button below necessarily, because the button may not be below. It might actually be above or something like that in relation to the copy itself. So I like to make sure to tell them exactly what to do or where to visit in order to take them up on this offer. So again, this is one of the first images I'm going to test. I also have an alternate. This is more of like a demonstration of, you know, what they're actually doing. And, you know, maybe the first ad will work well and I won't ever have to try something else, at least right away. But I always like to have a plan B, so to speak. You never want to have just one thing and not have another option to use should that not work out. So again, this is our level 2. This is really our core offer. And then finally, we've got our level 3. So this is another video, and this is going to be retargeting. This video will go to people who've simply visited their website, people who've engaged with them, and also people who've engaged with them at level 1 and level 2. So since they are just getting started with Facebook advertising, they really want to make sure that the people who have been engaging with them know about this new offer. So that's why we are going to run it just to their general warm audience. Essentially, what we could do is kind of keep everything focused on this first initial video, then sending those people the offer, then sending those people that don't convert this retargeting ad. But we want to make sure that anybody who hasn't previously booked an appointment or hasn't booked an appointment in a while is going to see this video. So that's going to go to that collective warm audience that I talked about. And tomorrow, when we actually do campaign structure and setup, we will actually put these ads in the ad account and show you exactly what we're selecting and how we're making those work together. So this video is only 22 seconds. That's a great time frame, and I will just play it for you really quick.
How you doing? This is Demond, the Classic Cuts Barbershop. Just want to give you a heads up and a reminder that the holidays is coming up. You might want to go ahead and get that appointment in. So go to our website, which is www.classiccutsbarbershop.com. Select the appointment button. Select the time that's good for you. Come on in, and always remember, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. Thank you.
All right, so again, it's just putting one of the owners in front of their audience. A lot of people know him. A lot of people know my brother as well, and we want to make sure that they know that, you know, these are the people that are running these ads, that it's not some faceless, nameless brand. So again, this ad will work for people who've already seen those previous ads or for people who've already engaged with them in one way or another. So let's take a look at the level 3 copy. All right, so level 3, it's going to be short, sweet, and to the point, okay? Did life get in the way? You forgot to finish signing up for your free hot towel shave with your next cut at Classic Cuts. Don't wait, appointments are going fast. So that sense of urgency. Click book now or visit classiccutsbarbershop.com to get started. This is going to be our headline. Appointments are filling up fast. Book your cut today. And then subheadline, get a free shave with cut. So this is, again, going to work for anyone who's engaged at those 2 previous levels, but it's still going to make sense for someone who simply went to their website from Google or who was thinking about booking an appointment and just didn't get around to it. So that is really the framework of the system we're going to lay out for them. So you might be wondering, okay, well, where are we going to send these people? What type of destination are we going to use? And there are a lot of different options, but there's two different places we could send them. So I mentioned a little bit yesterday about their situation with Booksy, which is their service that they use to actually go ahead and get that appointment set up directly online. And it's not a 100% ideal scenario. This is something that people actually have to sign up for separately, and it's just not, in my opinion, a great move for online marketing. So we are going to get them set up with Calendly for Teams, and that's going to make it much more seamless. But essentially, we don't need someone to book an appointment on a calendar. We need them to request an appointment. So this is their website. Most of the time, we're not sending social traffic to the homepage of someone's website. Okay, I actually did design this website for them, so it's better set up for conversions than most sites are. This is a one-page site. We have opportunities to book an appointment across different sections. We're showcasing a lot of their work, their services. Again, you can make an appointment, book an appointment, and then there's also one at the very top. So this site actually is designed to try and get conversions, and this is one of the rare occasions, especially just with the setup that they currently have, that we might test traffic to this option. We're going to make sure that the buttons are not going to Booksy, though, that they're going to just their form to request an appointment or to Calendly, so they can actually go ahead and set it up without having to log in anywhere. And the other page that we could send them to is just a really simple funnel, okay? So this is something I put together for them just in ClickFunnels, and it's a really straightforward, seamless page that does nothing but promote this offer. So this is typically what I would recommend. The website is going to be a better fit for hot traffic, people who've already worked with them, people who know them, but this is great for people who don't really have that relationship or that experience with their shop just yet. So we're not asking for a ton, just their first name, last name, and email, and we're gonna get them their voucher for their hot shave. Okay, that's going to go to their email, and then it's going to give them the opportunity to go ahead and book from the email. They also are able to reach out directly. They could absolutely go ahead and add phone number and see if it changes conversions, but at this time, this is going to be a good move. So exclusivity, only 20 vouchers available. You're making sure they know what the offer is, and then we're just going to allow them to sign up for it. It's going to go to a thank you page where you know, again, we will tell them to check their email for the voucher, but we'll also give them another opportunity to just go ahead and tell the shop a good day and time for their next appointment. So two different types of destinations. We're also going to be testing an offer ad, which I'll show you tomorrow, but a lot of different ways you can make this work, but you do need to know what works best for different audiences. Like I said, this website, it's going to work best for people who already know them. It could work best for people who don't know anything about them because they get a lot more information. But essentially, the more you try and give people sometimes, the more difficult it is to get them to make a decision. So with this, we're probably just going to send them great information about the shop and about the owners through their emails so that they can learn more. We'll give them a way to go ahead and click over to the website when they finish signing up, but we're just trying to simplify the process to get more conversions. So again, we will be going through actually building these campaigns tomorrow, but that is essentially what we're going to be doing for them. We've got level 1, which is our video. We've got level 2, which is we're just going to test out an image. And then we have that level 3, which is going to be the retargeting video. So again, all of this stuff can be found in your cheat sheet. And as long as you plan this out, it will make life so much easier for you. So I hope this has been really helpful. Really just try and remember that everything that you're doing should be done with your avatars and your audience in mind. So don't just give them something you think you would want. Make sure you're thinking about this from their point of view, what they're looking for from a product or service like yours, and what type of copy is most likely to resonate with them. It's all about testing, but if you can always keep that in mind. Your tests are going to be much more effective. So anyway, that is all I have for you today on day 3. Again, please make sure that you stay tuned and you really focus on finishing the rest of this challenge. You know, I want you to take action. I don't want you to go through another training or information program and just sit there idly and not actually implement these things in your business. I'm all about taking action. Imperfect action is what it's all about. You're always going to run into problems and things that don't work out for you, but you have to be willing to keep moving forward and keep trying new things and simply adjust as things change, because in the world of digital marketing, things are changing every single day. So what works today may not work 6 months from now. You have to have a plan in place to know how to make that happen and make those adjustments without kind of ruining everything that you've built up until this point. So again, day 5, giving away a big prize worth $5,000 and sharing a really awesome and exciting announcement for you, something that hopefully should allow you to take even more action with your marketing, with your business, and help you find a lot more success running ads on Facebook, Instagram, Google, whatever it may be. So anyhow, I am Allie Bloyd, and thank you so much for being on this video live or on the replay. Please do #live or #replay so I know that you are here, and drop any comments or questions that you have below, or go ahead and make a post in the group and I will absolutely respond to it and try and give you any feedback possible. So thanks for being here, and I will see you tomorrow on day 4 for campaign structure and setup. Thanks, guys.